Okay, well, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we doing
Spookies.
Shit.
I am Jason.
And I am Julian. And
we doing
Spookies.
I bought an Oktoberfest 12-pack at the Target liquor store.
It's early.
I don't even like Oktoberfest, Julian. But I was having a hard time finding beer in their beer cooler, and I just wanted to leave.
So Night House is from the year 2020.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it for 3 years. That's why we watched it for the podcast.
It was delayed 1 year because of COVID when it was going to come out. It's an hour and 47 minutes. The tagline is, "Get out of the house."
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's one of them. I didn't look at the other ones, but that's the one that they put up there. So I'm assuming that's like the one they went with.
That's not good.
It's, well, no, I mean, because A, but B, she has no intention of doing that.
No.
You know? It had a budget of $7 million.
Oh.
Apparently. It grossed $15 million.
It's a pretty good looking $7 million movie, man. I mean, it's basically one location, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering about, like, the effect on her skin when it was touching her. I was like, man, that could be CG, but they could be using, like, a blower or something.
Did you ask her?
Ever since the restraining order, she stopped returning my calls.
Jillian, stop bothering me.
I might.
Is she British or Australian?
I don't know. A British, I believe.
Yeah. It's me, Becca.
All these
Becca
fuckers.
Hall?
All these fuckers trying to be American.
She's good at it.
I don't like it. The only trivia that I thought I would mention is that when when Beth is flipping through Owen's phone,
yeah,
one of the pictures is of two guys laughing. That was the screenwriters.
Oh, okay. I was like, that cannot be all the trivia. There has to be one extra thing about that picture.
Yeah.
There's a picture of two guys laughing. Then you could be like, and when she was in the bookstore, one of the books was called Cars. My analogies are bad.
Did you immediately go, hey, that's not her?
In the picture?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I did.
Ooh.
Because we can see her left hand. She doesn't have a wedding ring on in the picture. I said, that ain't Beth.
Not Beth at all.
Callie. It's not Beth.
Beth. Fake Beth.
Beth Tanner. Hit me with that synopsis.
The Night House. Beth. Rebecca Hall is trying to come to terms with her husband, Owen Evan Jonakite? Evan Jonakite's self-termination. While clearing out their house, Beth is visited by an otherworldly presence that leads her to discovering that Owen was not the man she thought he was. Beth's friend Claire, Sarah Goldberg from Barry, and neighbor Mel, Vondi Curtis Hall from the most recent season of Justified, tried to help her through her grief and bring her into the light. But will Beth be doomed to forever live in the Night House? How do you feel about Becca Hall?
She's okay.
I like her.
I was looking at her filmography because Callie's like, we just saw her in that movie.
It's just thinking about The Town 10 years ago.
Apparently it's pronounced Jonakite.
Why doesn't he just fucking change his last name to Keaton?
Yeah, you know?
Uh-huh.
Why doesn't he change his name to John Kite? My name is John Kite. I don't know. Yeah, she's all right. Looking at her filmography, I'm like, the only thing we could have seen her in was The Monkey versus the Lizard, Part 3. You know, King Kong versus Godzilla, because we saw that movie.
Yeah.
And that was the most recent movie that I saw that she was in. And I'm looking at her other filmography, and I'm like, I saw Vicky Cristina Barcelona, of course. Loved it. The Prestige. But none of that shit I'd seen in the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah, this is an interesting movie.
I'd say it's about 3/4 pretty good. I think it stumbles, but also I guess that's the whole point of it. So go ahead.
It's interesting because I don't feel like I've seen this specific story kind of explored before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the grief from the self-termination, but then the suggestion that, who was my husband?
I think they call it brain bangs. You say self-termination?
Yeah.
Man, growing up, we always called it brain bangs.
I'm Canadian, though.
Oh, that's it.
But then bring in this actual supernatural element and then like really dive deep into it. Or I mean, not dive deep into it, but like go like full force on it. hey, this is specifically what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh shit. All right.
I had to look up what people were saying afterwards. So I was like, seems obvious what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were like, yeah, I can't understand how I thought it was about this, but it's about this. And then another person was like, no, I mean, it's both.
Mm-hmm.
It's that thing, but then it's also about this.
Right.
And yeah, there you go.
It brings to mind the Babadook
Fucking fuck the Babadook. Yeah.
and Smile.
It's
Because, spoiler alert, but at the very end, when the monster actually manifests, I mean, as far as we're concerned, because we're watching it, it's a fucking monster. Opens up its big fucking smiling mouth. It's got rows of teeth and shit. It's just like eating her. It's like, well, that's her grief. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's also a monster.
yeah.
You know?
She did, right?
I mean, why are we seeing it if it's not so, right? Yeah, I, off the bat, I will say that I mostly enjoyed this movie.
Mm-hmm.
God, I really had a heartbroken crush on her friend.
From Barry?
I don't know. What is that?
It's the girlfriend from Barry. The
Sarah Goldberg?
Bill Hader hitman comedy.
Okay. Boy, she just seems so sad in this movie.
She's pretty sad in Barry, too.
You crying? No.
Even though, like, by all accounts, she's just living a normal life.
She acts like she's up to something. She seems like she might possibly be evil or have something to do with the husband.
I go, she had an affair with the husband.
Yeah.
As soon as we saw her in that gym room or auditorium during the teacher, whatever.
Yeah, she blurts out weird things where it's like, don't look any further into this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Don't smell his sheets and my perfume at the same time.
Hey,
It's a popular brand.
that bitch from Barry's been in here.
So the movie starts, and right away, Owen's no longer with us.
No,
He bang-brained. And some ladies outside
brain bang.
who's giving her a casserole or something of some sort.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, dear. Call me. Yeah, whatever. She goes inside and she just tosses the casserole in the garbaggio.
But later, she's eating
She's
it.
eating trash.
She dug it out.
And she did. And so she goes upstairs and gets out like his collection of Corbel or whatever. Cavassier.
Oh, his booze?
Yeah. He's got a crate of booze.
Brown drink?
And
Is that what we call it? Brown drink?
she's rocking to some slow folk jam,
Uh-huh.
rock music. Girl, come outside.
That's how the song sounds?
Marry me, and
Uh-huh.
she's just kind of like, fuck all this, I'm going to trash this house slowly. But then she wakes up to like a thumping sound at
Yeah.
first, right?
Yeah.
She goes, what the hell is that?
Goes and looks around.
What's that?
And you know what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, there's kind of like maybe a shadow in the window door. So then the next morning she wakes up in a stupor on the floor, I think. She wakes up all sorts of places.
That's that old brown beverage she's drinking.
Yeah. Oh, God. Brandy and shit. Good luck. But when she goes outside, she notices that the gate from the rowboat dock landing
All
is
the way open.
She goes, what the heck?
Are there bloody footprints down there?
No, they're not, but they're muddy, which rhymes with bloody.
But isn't it kind of like red mud, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's like clay mud, but regardless, if you're coming out of the water, which it looks like the footprints emanate from the water,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to have any mud on your feet.
No, because the water will take it away as you climb out. Yes.
Unless the dock is only, 3 feet off the ground.
You know what? We can't actually see it, but there could be a little mud bed just right
Could be.
above the water surface that you step in to get onto the dock.
You know what else? It could be a Clayface from Batman.
Fuck, that might be what's the answer for everything.
It's just his feet, So she comes up, and all of a sudden, the guy from Ghost Dog is her neighbor. What's his name? Vondi Curtis Hall, which sounds a little French Canadian.
I like my eggs scrambled and American pancake.
Hey, and he
Okay,
goes.
so he's there. and
Yeah, he
he's-
goes. Hey, you help me with my wife because she died. So I want to help you. It's not anything creepy.
Not sexual.
I gave my penis up a long time ago.
I chopped it right off.
I
when
had a
she
friend.
died. Oh,
He had his wiener cut off at birth.
mm-hmm.
The doctor. I played a little, minor league baseball for
Yep.
a couple of years, and then I got married, and my wife died, and you helped me with that.
Jack.
So Beth,
I love you.
I love you.
Let me help you out. And she goes, nah, it's cool. I'm going to work, though.
Doesn't at some point he mentions how like isolated they are?
Yeah. When he sees her first walking in the woods.
I don't feel that they are especially isolated. It seems like their houses are not that far from each other.
It's just she's off along the lake.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like she's down a dirt road and there's nothing else around and it's just her on that lake.
No.
It's like, nah, man, there's a road and there's houses around the lake.
And she's like a high school teacher. So, I mean, like, there's got to be, at least, I don't know, 500-600 kids.
What's that now?
To go to a high school. To have a public funded city high school, you need at least
500 to 600 kids?
Mm-hmm.
Julian? Mm-hmm. Is that you made that up.
So she shows up and her friend Claire, she goes, Beth, what are you doing here? You don't have to be here, child. No, it's fine. I'm pretending that I'm not hurt. Oh, okay. I'm sad though. Look at my face. Yeah, I know, girl. And so she goes back to her class and she's like not daydreaming, but she kind of is. She falls asleep looking on the web, the internet.
At other houses to buy to get out of her house?
Mm-hmm. Or swap. I don't know.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Trade ya.
Uh-huh.
He killed himself on the lake, so...
And she wakes up, though, and she's looking at a website.
Mr. Hands?
For guns. Handguns. And that's when the mother of the student walks in.
Is it Connor or Caden's mom?
I mean, it is their mother, but...
I'm sorry. I have so many Cadens this year. I just can't get them
God, what
straight.
is it?
Chauncey.
Yeah, and she goes...
I have so many hunters this year.
Oh, how many? Students named Hunter do you have?
3.
She goes, I noticed on the website there that you gave my son a C. She goes, yeah, he didn't do his thing. Well, actually, he showed up to do his thing, but you weren't there on a Thursday.
That was the last day to do things, and I had an emergency.
Well, he told me he was out the day you presented those projects. We all have personal matters to deal with sometimes.
She goes, fine, you get to B. Well, I wasn't. I wasn't implying that. Well, what the fuck?
My husband shot himself in the head last Thursday.
I hadn't heard.
No, because it's a personal matter.
Do you know how much blood pours out of the head when you pop a hole in it like that?
So she goes, well, what do you want, a fucking A then? She goes, well, no, I mean, the B is fine. Sorry about your husband.
She's shocked and she's rocked.
Because she came in kind of like a bitch.
No, yeah, she came in Karen style to be like, you're giving my shitty kid a grade that he deserves?
Right.
No.
You civil servant.
Give him what I think he deserves. He's a perfect boy.
Give him an S.
For super?
If you know Japanese games, you know it. S is better than A.
Fucking A.
So she walks off with her tail between her legs. And, so some spooky stuff starts happening. The record player comes on. Actually, it's the radio. It says FM.
Oh, really? Because it's always the same song.
Yeah, I know, right. I'm thinking, is the ghost waiting for the DJ to put it in rotation? Oh, shit. God, like he's making a mixtape.
This sounded like a song I would like. I was like, I keep thinking it's going to be like Smog, or it's like, what is it? Purple Mountains, that guy that killed himself right after releasing a masterpiece.
It reminds me, there was a song on a commercial, and they're like, all the colors or something. It's like a, I don't know, gospel-themed rock song or something. So the song keeps coming on. Yeah, like he's requesting it, and then when the DJ gets around to it, he turns it up. But there's like banging, and like she sees like a light across the lake, and she goes,
there's a house directly across the lake from me.
I thought that I was the only house on this lake.
But what? What about the other guy? He's not on the lake?
No, he lives across the street, not on the lake.
Why would he?
Discrimination.
Why would you be out there if you're not on the lake?
Discrimination.
Yeah.
They won't let him buy a house on the lake. It's White Lake. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, shit. It is? Oh, yep. I did see that.
And so she goes, that's odd. I think I'm going to sleepwalk onto my boat.
No.
Or something.
She like...
Is this where she sees the bloody footprints? This movie's a fucking...
He lifts her up. Like, he touches her and she passes out and then carries her to the boat. And the boat goes across the lake. Yeah.
Oh, wait. She sees her naked husband levitating on the water at one point.
Yeah, when she looks out the window. Oh, because he's like, come down.
He goes, yeah, it's me. This feels a little Donnie Darko, right?
I actually thought this was a killer update on What Lies Beneath, the Harrison Ford Michelle Pfeiffer movie. Because that's absolutely where it's going.
Oh, with the bathtub.
Yeah, it's totally that.
I just pulled off some of my mustache.
Well.
Yeah. So, yeah, eventually she ends up across the shore.
Yeah.
And
This is when she has the big hallucination.
I think she's already been snooping, seeing her husband's phone, because some of the women that we see here, I think, are on the phone.
Well, I think that...
Right?
No,
the phone call, the text.
Isn't this what triggers it? The boat across the water? That's when she starts seeing all the ladies. That's when she sees the house that's the opposite.
I think she gets a text first. Come downstairs.
Yeah.
Right? And then she starts snooping into his phone, finds the pictures. And because I'm like, oh, those are the ladies. So I must have seen them before. And she's on the iPad. That's how you know they're good people. I don't know if you know that.
They have iPads, not just like PCs.
Apple products.
Yeah.
Apple will not let bad guys use their products in movies.
Oh, okay.
And I learned this because Chris Evans in Knives Out,
Okay.
he has a flip phone.
That's a real thing?
Yeah, Ryan Johnson said that.
But her husband's a bad guy.
Well, but she's using the laptop, not him. He owned it, but he's dead now.
What?
And it's not him.
It's a fucking goddamn spider web of nonsense.
Mm-hmm. It's semantics, but that's corporate speak, dude. You don't know it. Oh, he knows how to spell, though.
That was a good one, huh?
I need a button that I can press that's a really loud alarm when you spill. So she wakes up on the other side of the shore, and she goes, well, what the hell? There's a house over here, and it looks suspiciously like mine.
It's completely like, well, who's that lady in the window?
Wait a second. There's all sorts of different women in the window, and my husband's strangling one of them.
What's happening here? Oh, wait. Now these ladies are lemmings? They're
now
jumping off the cliff?
That too. Now the address is backwards. What in the hell? Yeah, so she wakes up one night, and she goes out because there's a knock at her door. And there's a lady running by in her panties. She goes, who's that?
Oh, this isn't that same... Oh, I'm jumbling.
I don't know, man. It happens, but I don't know the order. It's unfortunate. And who are you? And then two more chicks run by, and they all run and jump over the fence and then just leap off the cliff. This is very much like Alan Wake.
Oh, he's talking video games to you again.
So then all of a sudden, jump scare, another girl runs by, and she just goes right over the edge. She's in her underwear as well. She goes, miss, wait. So she starts to dig, and her friend Claire is like, girl, just, let sleeping dogs lie.
Do not look into your husband at all. Don't.
Yes.
Stop.
Don't find a videotape in that boarded up fireplace that you have.
Yeah, like Mungo.
Yeah. And she goes, no, I'm going to keep looking, though. So she finds a couple of books of the damned. They do occult scripture inside of it. To live forever, you must... Burr, 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 burr. And she tracks the bookstore down, and the guy there is of little help in her hastily strewn together investigation.
Yeah, we don't keep records like that.
We don't have those records.
That she happens to look over and she sees the bookshelf from her picture that's not of her, but everybody thinks it's her.
Looks like
she
her.
shows it
yeah,
to him.
Yeah. And so she finds the girl. She goes, hey, you were fucking my husband.
I seen you on his phone.
I mean you no harm. Just, tell me about it.
Dude, Rebecca Hall is so good. I love her.
Solid.
I think she is a wonderful actress or actor. Maybe we don't need to delineate.
She's a real Sandra Bullock.
The way she just rolls up on that girl, like the hurt, but the just tell me what's going on. I don't give a fuck. Just fill me in.
Yeah,
but also, I do give a fuck because you better fucking tell me.
It's interesting because we know nothing of their marriage.
No.
Aside from him using his muscles to build a piece of wood. And it's not even evident that she loves him so much as she's now obsessed with his secret life.
The mystery, yeah.
She's not trying to get back to him, although that does come up later.
This probably does happen with suicides. I bet you get invested on what's going on. Like, what on earth what were they really about?
And I didn't write it down, but he left her a note.
Yes.
And he goes, you were right.
There is nothing.
There is nothing.
Nothing is after you.
You're safe now. Because she tells Claire that she died. Beth was in a pancake car accident.
When she was in high school?
College? I don't know.
Yeah.
She was dead for 4 minutes. Now, some would argue, in light of the fact that people have been resurrected after being dead for 2 hours, that 4 really ain't shit. But
Are you hideawaying me right now?
I am. But she goes, there was nothing. I was just dead.
People want to know. They want to know about what goes on. Bright lights, past family members. Nah, man. Guess what? Nothing.
Nada.
This movie kind of actually fucked me up a little bit when I was watching. It was a little heavy.
Because you're dealing with that death.
Yeah, when they're talking about the absolute nothingness, I was like, yeah, God, it probably is just being turned off. That's horrible to think about.
It's crazy because right after my mom died, I was high out of my mind off of some cookies that I got.
Oh no, what'd you do?
And we were watching The Immortals.
Are you talking about the Eternals?
The Eternals.
The Marvel movie?
Yeah. And I'm like so stoned and they're talking about like life and shit. And I'm just like thinking about my mom and I'm like, I can't handle this. It was brutal. She says, well, I didn't have sex with your husband. FYI. I would have. Oh boy. He took us, this is broken up into two different conversations, but the basic crux of it is he took her to his house. And I'm thinking she didn't notice any of the pictures on the wall of them together because there's a lot of them.
She's discovered the Night House by now, hasn't she?
Oh, she did. She discovered a shanty.
Yeah, well, I feel like people are presenting it to us as though it's an actual house when it's really just like 3 squares, 1 square, 2 square, 1 square over here. And it's
she goes in and Callie's like, I mean, how do you know that's not like a homeless in Canada?
Right. Or like somebody started to build a house for 5 minutes and gave up.
And now the teenagers go there and smoke meth.
And pound nails into statues.
And people if they invade. We also, I think the neighbor has finally been like, yeah, I caught your husband down there.
Well, he was real sus at first. But he's like, there ain't no house over there.
He's walking his dog, goes, ain't no house over there.
You can't be out here in these woods. I'm worried about you.
But then she confronts him and he goes, yeah, there is a house over there. I caught your husband over there with a woman.
Thought it was you. Looked just like you.
And he was strangling her. He looked so scared and frantic, just like you did. Yeah, but he said it was fine, so I didn't think to really do anything about it.
Now, is this when he was with the girl, or this is the conversation they had later when he saw him again?
Oh, he sees him again and he goes, he was fine.
He was covered in mud and he kept talking about his urges.
Oh, that too, yeah. But then he goes, yeah, he was fine after that.
I mean, he's clearly a serial killer, but I didn't want to look into it too deeply.
I don't want to be involved in that.
No. Definitely not a problem to have a serial killer right around the corner.
It's hard enough being the only black guy around here. And so she's like, well, okay. And the girl goes, yeah, he brought me to your house and then we kissed a little bit. I farted, but he didn't say anything.
He started choking me.
And then he started choking me and I go, no. And he goes, oh, my bad. I misread I'm going to take you home. And
it was like it wasn't me when I was doing it.
Mm-hmm. But she goes, I just thought maybe he misread it and thought I was into something and I'm not.
I want you to take me to the brink of death and then bring me back.
I want to forget 9th grade algebra.
I want this to be like Flatliners, but with choking.
And so she goes, well, okay, that's interesting. I got pictures of women that my husband has. And then she goes there one night and she falls to the floor and finds a whole bunch of dead bodies.
That's kind of almost the best part of the movie because I was really excited. I was like, oh shit, her fucking husband's a serial killer. Kind of seemed like it.
Kind of maybe call the cops though.
All these girls disappearing. And this is the point where I'm like, oh, it's what lies beneath. All the ghosts of the murdered women are trying to bring Rebecca Hall out to where the dead bodies are to let them all get buried and let the truth come to light.
Except there's no real evidence outside of what could be a delusional fantasy.
Well, his fingerprints are in the skin around their necks. Is that how that works?
I mean, it might be, but we haven't heard like real world news stories or anything that's like brown-haired girl missing, another one. To know whether or not this is even real.
This actually should be a really big deal. That's quite a few women under there.
Yeah, and especially since she's a brown-haired woman, she'd probably be on high alert that other brown-haired women are mysteriously vanishing.
So do you think there maybe aren't dead bodies under there?
Well, I don't know because she's in like a little bit of a fugue state when she stumbles upon it.
Yeah.
And so many things are happening that they don't even bother to have any other character like refute or be skeptical of.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening to her is happening in isolation and she doesn't divulge it. She's not acting weird really to anybody else. I mean, there's that scene where she talks about the suicide note, quite frankly.
When she's at the bar with the people?
Yeah, with Josh and Claire and Rebecca.
How do you know all their names?
I don't. It's actually Gary, I think, not Josh. But Gary's a fucking tool, man. So when we're with her, it's unclear because she's morphing around. She finds that weird doll with spikes in it.
Yeah.
Sexual positioning. It would stand to reason. There's a book called like the Aragon or something that, she finds.
Is it the guy from Lord of the Rings, or is it that dragon?
Both.
Okay.
It's quite confusing. And so Claire's like, girl, just stay with me, girl. And she goes, nah, I'm not going to do that. She falls asleep on her lap and she wakes up and she's in wherever. So it's unclear like how much of this is reality at this point. So she stumbles upon those bodies and she really starts freaking. And at this point,
I better eat them. I better eat them to get rid of them.
Yeah, and
she starts eating that rotten flesh.
At this point, the figure presents itself to her in the bathroom.
Oh yeah,
in some form or another.
Oh, this is interesting. This is when is she in her house?
Yeah, she sees "here" written in the steam in the bathroom,
and then she sees her husband killing multiple people, multiple women.
Well, through the mirror, she sees him kill one woman.
Bashes her head.
And the thing appears and starts touching her, and she's touching it, and she's kissing on it.
I'm not your husband.
She goes, "Oh, Owen." Because he turns her around and he's grinding on her buttocks.
Fuck yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, Owen." And he goes, "I'm not Owen, baby. I'm the nerd." Because he rapes that girl in the movie.
What?
In Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh.
As Darth Vader. It's troubling. And she goes, "You're not Owen. What the fuck?" And he slams her head against the mirror.
Just like the girl that Owen smashed.
And she tries running away and he goes, "You ain't running away from me, bitch."
But then there's other murders taking place around.
So she eventually goes through the door once it opens, and she's in her bedroom, and there's a girl cowering in the closet. "Oh, he's coming! Don't let him see you!" And she closes the door. "Oh, what's that?" And she falls on the floor, and she's by the bed, and he comes dragging a woman in. And she goes, "Oh my God!" And then it's like room 137. She all of a sudden 237. She all of a sudden sees him dragging another lady, and then she turns around and he's choking another lady.
You don't think that these women have really been murdered?
I don't know. That's the problem. I have no idea of knowing.
That's like the most interesting part of the movie for me, other than the grief and Rebecca Hall being awesome.
And the thing is it doesn't even matter necessarily.
Yeah, it's really just about her overcoming her.
Because she's like segmented in this
depression.
Yeah. He shot himself. I don't know if he mentioned that. With a gun.
Rowdy's bowed out to the middle of the lake, took off his clothes.
Yep.
And bang.
With a gun that she didn't even know that they owned.
He screamed out, "Becca Hall, fuck you."
I want to touch on this.
Yeah. Secret guns? Do you have secret guns?
I do, but she has the gun.
Now?
The police...
They gave it to her right away?
It's in the evidence bag?
Yeah, the death was within the last week, and they're like, well, here's that gun. I mean, you didn't do it, I guess.
Regardless of the time period, correct me if I'm wrong here, the gun would be registered to him, not to her.
Okay.
And you need a license to have a gun.
Oh, interesting.
So they're not going to just be like, well, it was your husband's. I mean, for one, they might keep it because it is,
yeah, a dead body. It could be possibly a murder.
Or whatever, but in general. But also, yeah, because, I mean, it's not like his shoe.
I don't think they really give a fuck. I think they would give her the gun.
Here's the gun, miss.
You want this? He killed himself with it. You want it?
No. They're going to funnel it onto the streets of South L.A. to help with the crack wars.
Yes.
Now it's the guy's like, "I'm not your husband." And she goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, remember when you died? You saw me, right? Because I love you now because of that."
She's like, "You know what? You can get it. I haven't gotten it in a while. You can
how,
get it."
How many inches? It's only 2, but it'll work.
I mean, would you have ghost sex?
Yeah.
I'm down. I mean, I don't know about demon sex.
No.
But ghost sex? If a ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because it's like it's invisible.
I hope that we don't just get a torrent of ghosts showing up to fuck us constantly.
I mean, Lizzie Borden, whatever. I like redheads. You know Lizzie Borden?
Yeah, the one who supposedly chopped up her parents, but they're also like, it probably wasn't her.
Yep, she's wild.
Probably her bitch sister, and she pinned it on her.
Probably. Pinned it on her with a rail spike.
Oh.
Like Jesus. But so, okay, now there's a ghost or demon that wants to be with her because he saw her when she died as a kid. Because it was whispering into her husband's ear to kill her.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Kill her and then I'll be with her." But your husband was a weak pussy. He kept killing all his other broads.
Kept tricking me, and it only worked for a little bit.
I don't want them. They're not clean down there.
Why is this thing so stupid that it's like, oh, okay, this time it's really her?
Yeah. Well, and what is he doing? Like presenting them to her on an altar or some shit? It just feels like he's killing them because he doesn't want to kill his wife.
The people listening are probably like, no, you guys, this isn't what the movie's about.
Yep. So now it like lifts her into space and is contorting her body.
Oh yeah, I thought she was done for.
Beth is scared.
Beth. Don't
Beth,
fucking hit that.
yeah,
TH.
she goes. She looks like that. Claire gets some sort of a weird message from her where she's like, baby, I'm about to go to the other world.
No, she called her when right before she discovered the bodies or right after. And she's like, I wish you were here. She didn't say what she saw. How I wish you were here. I'm doing the Incubus version.
I'm just a little lonely Beth sitting waiting for Claire. I kind of got the impression that Claire maybe loved her.
What?
In a sexual way.
Why? Then doesn't it seem like she'd be happier that her fucking husband killed himself?
Yeah, but she's sad though, because she's sad.
Then she would probably be trying to spend more time with her. She'd move in.
She's got a husband though and 2 kids. She's got to figure that out. So the demon's like, hey, now you're on the boat and you got your husband's gun. Blow your brains out.
Suck it.
And be with me.
Is that every time we talk about a gun, they gotta suck it?
Suck it.
Yeah.
You philandering son of a bitch.
I feel so much more confident when I get to be the one that edits these.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to sneak in anything awful.
And so she's on the rowboat and it's red and there's 2 moons and one of them is red and she's got this really cool looking revolver and he goes, do it.
It doesn't matter. Let go.
Be with me, baby.
It's going to be so cool. Don't you want to try that gun out?
There's going to be nothing.
I don't know why I want you because there's going to be nothing.
I don't even really have a penis.
It's just not really about this.
Yeah.
This is about killing yourself.
So Claire rolls up and she goes, where is Beth? And she's down on the lake. And Ice Cream Man shows up. Where's Beth, girl? Child? And she goes, she's down in the boat. She's all fucked up. And Claire jumps in the goddamn water.
All right, so she's up in that boat. Claire's swimming out there.
And then she goes, nah, I don't want to do that. And then Claire pulls her into the water. Drown, bitch.
Uh-huh.
You can't be with me. You'll be with nobody.
Oh,
and
you'll be with nothing.
And saves her.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, girl, what were you doing out there? And she goes, nothing. Or
no, what do you see out there?
What do you see out there? Yeah, nothing. And then the movie ends with the slam dinger of a bullshit song. And
so, I mean, I enjoyed it up until the nothing was made. So
something.
Yeah. I was very into her husband being a serial killer. I found that really disturbing. I was really horrified about what he was doing, especially like with this mental illness, feeling like he has to and he's trying to protect her. I even said to Jenny, I was like, honestly, if like you had to kill like 8-9 people to keep me alive, no, just let me die. That's you don't even have to kill one. And
no, I'd be fine with that.
One bad guy.
I'd be fine with her doing that.
Killing?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Keep you going?
Well, not to keep me going, but to stop from killing me. Fine. Cool.
Really?
Well, why not?
Callie's going around just killing a bunch of guys that look kind of like you. She strangles them.
Bunch of mixed race sons of bitches sporting Tom Selleck mustaches. Because who knows? Maybe it's like Jet Li's the one, and the more she kills them, the stronger you get.
So, okay, what do you think about this movie?
I thought it was interesting. It gets a little on the nose at the end. In some ways, I never saw it, but it reminded me of The Invisible Man.
Oh, shit. The most recent one?
Yeah, with Elizabeth Moss.
That shit fucking rules.
That everybody's talking about.
That's really good.
Just because of that one brief moment, it's an invisible person.
It's like...
But that's about like the domestic abuse, right?
Yeah, but it's substantially like frightening and interesting and exciting. There's a lot of things happening that make that movie way better than it should be.
Because it's in the Dark Pictures cinematic universe, so it's
I don't think it is.
No, this was interesting. I was hoping it wouldn't just be a grief movie, but then at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know, this supernatural stuff's a little flimsy. But ultimately, I walked away thinking it was of the 3 movies that we watched for your run.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is like number 1 on my list
By so much.
By a little bit compared to number 2, but it's just a different movie. So, Yeah, it was fine. It was interesting. It had a little bit of a sleuthy nature to it, which I always appreciate.
Yeah, you like those Scooby-Doo mysteries.
I deducted points for a lack of nudity, but overall, yeah, I thought this was a pretty good movie.
I conceptually like that everything is like very face value, that surface value. Right on top, it is what it is.
Surface level.
That the fucking husband is a killer, that a monster is after her. It's the nothingness of death, and she defeats it at the end. I like that.
Well, does she defeat it, or does she just deny it?
Well, I think that
It's not vanquished.
No, I mean, I guess ideally, I think it's always there, right? Depending on how you're feeling.
Yeah.
But she has the power to say no to it.
True.
That's all she needs.
True.
I was hoping it would be really good.
Like good or scary?
No, good. I was, actually, hey, let's talk about the scares. I was actually creeped out quite a bit in this movie.
Yeah, we didn't talk about whether or not these movies gave you a spooky feeling or not.
Yeah, this one gave me a spooky feeling several times. Like I would be frightened that something was going to happen. Yeah, there was quite a few eerie moments. I don't remember them specifically, but I know there was at least 3 or 4 times throughout the movie where I was just like,
Yeah, I didn't get any uneasy feeling, but I could recognize the character's dread, especially in the bathroom scene where you're like, oh shit, you're welcoming this thing into your life, assuming it's Owen, not realizing that it was what was driving Owen, but it's certainly not Owen. But what is it? What did you give this movie?
I'd give it like a 6. I found it quite compelling a lot, but then by the end, I was like, I don't know.
I think what worked in its favor is that it was well made.
Oh, it's great. Rebecca Hall is fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody in it is really good.
Yeah.
This is a well-made movie.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6 as well. It's not spooky at all, but...
I was spooked.
Yeah, but for me, I was just kind of like there. I've seen some spooky things here and there, but...
What do you give Rebecca Hall?
I give her a 6.
Hey, Rebecca Hall, don't
Is
listen
she
to
related
Jules.
to C. Michael Anthony Hall?
Don't even talk to me. I'm talking to Rebecca Hall right now. Rebecca Hall, you're an 8. And don't let Jules tell you anything different.
A 6, but yeah.
All right, that's it for this movie.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow with another spooky.
Yeah,
Oh,
social
wait.
media, blah, blah, blah.
Oh.
Nowplaynetwork.com, net, blah, blah, blah.
No. Wait.
763-634-1897, blah, blah, blah.
I'm gonna giggle my way into the ocean if you keep doing the blah, blah, blah thing.
Yada, yada.
Go ahead and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. You should do that, and then if you do, go ahead and tell us what movie you want us to watch. We'll do these stupid movies in between runs. Right now, we got fucking Drop Dead Fred for January.
What?
Yeah, you don't know about that? How did you miss out on this?
What do you mean?
Somebody, Mandy, reviewed
I don't see
our podcast
reviews.
on Apple,
I don't see that shit.
and she chose Drop Dead
You
Fred.
act as if I'm aware of these things.
See, the thing is, I send Jules screenshots and texts.
That's not what that
things.
was. It was about dick pills. Big penis enlargement supplements.
Mandy reviewed the show and picked a movie, and on January 1st, you will get to hear the episode on Drop Dead Fred. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.